Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Autohrycfix. In the previous episode, I was telling you how great Honda S2000s are and how wonderful. I'm so happy that I have one. But since then, I guess I spoke too soon. Nothing major, don't worry. Just that when I was washing the car the other day and giving it a nice wax, because the sun's still super bright and shining, so getting in those last few whacks of driving, I noticed something. But it's okay, it's not a big thing. But in today's episode, I will show you what that problem is, and I'll show you how we can fix it. So let's go take a look at what happened. Alright, so when I was giving the car a wax the other day, I was just buffing it out over here nicely, and I noticed that the corner of the bumper right here, where the headlight touches the bumper, but it doesn't touch. It's starting to bubble, and my wonderful paint is cracking. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to teach you guys how to remove the front bumper of a Honda S2000. It's not that difficult, but there is a few hidden bolts here and there that you're going to want to know before ripping the bumper out. But before we get started, let me show you what tools you're going to need to remove the bumper on the Honda S2000. Pretty basic. You're going to want to need a 1/4 inch ratchet, an 8mm socket with an extension. I also have a 10mm socket for the bolts underneath the extension. May or may not need the extension, but as long as you have it, just in case. Also, a gear wrench to help you get those 10mm bolts out, and a T3 star screwdriver head. Pretty basic. So let's go ahead and start removing this bumper. Alright, so basically where I would start would be on the top. So you just got to remove these 5 screws that are just on top here that are holding the retainer bracket to the rad support. This is where your star 3mm socket will come into place. Alright, so there you have it. We have removed the upper retainer bracket that holds the upper part of the bumper to the rad support. One quick thing to notice is that the 5 screws that hold the retainer in place have these rubber gasket washers. I highly suggest that if when removing this bracket, the gaskets are either worn, torn, or not there at all, you guys just pick it up. You can usually order it on Amazon. If not, you can go to your local dealership and they'll just check in the catalog and they can order it for you. So another good thing is whenever removing things from your car, always get yourself a little container that you can put all your bolts in, so make sure that nothing gets lost. Worst thing that happens is that when you're putting something back all together, you're either A, missing a bolt, or B, there's too many bolts. If there's too many bolts left over, well, you gotta go back and make sure that it's bolted up. So let's continue. Two screws that you really got to look for, and be careful. Make sure that you remove them before removing the bumper. There's 2 bolts that are bolted on the side here. They're bolted to the fenders. You have to remove these 2 bolts, one on each side, so that the rest of the upper part of the bumper will come off. So again, they're hidden back here. It's a 10mm bolt. You just got to remove it. And you see there's like on the bumper there's another, it's like an L bracket that's bolted on, but you have to just remove it from the fender. Alright, so now we're moving on to the side of the bumper. On each side there is up there hidden between the wheel fender and the wheel. If it gets too hard, you can always jack up the car and remove the tire. All I did was just jack up the car so I have a little bit more space, but it's an 8mm socket, one on this side and there's one on the passenger side. I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. Alright guys, so far so good. I hope I'm not going too quick. Um, if anybody has any different types of ideas on how to basically remove the upper part of the bumper, you can always leave your comments in the comment section down below. I super appreciate it. So now we're on to the next part where we're going to be removing all the bolts from underneath the bumper. There are about 4 or 5 that hold the bumper to the car itself, and then there's another, I think, 5 or 6 that are there to hold the bumper to the engine shield. But we'll go ahead and we'll check that. Alright guys, so sorry about the shakiness in my hands. So my tripod doesn't fit underneath here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be the ones that are going to be removing from underneath the car. Alright, so there you have it. We're almost there. One extra tool that I forgot to tell you about in the beginning of the video. You can always buy these plastic shim, like plastic flat screwdriver shims that help with trims inside the car and also with bumper. Why I'm showing you this is because you're going to need the thin part here just to go underneath and unclip it, because what it is like the bracket for the headlamps that holds the bumper in place. It slides under and then the bumper goes over. There's like a little clip there. So with this, you just gotta lift it gently and pull the bumper back so that you make sure that you don't hurt the bumper. So basically you're gonna lift a little bit here and you're gonna lift it and pull towards you, just like that. And when those two sides are off, basically what you gotta do is just pull the bumper towards you. Again, be careful when pulling here, because there is an L bracket that's made out of metal that you don't want to scratch the paint. And there you have it. Bumper is off. The bracket that I wanted to show you is just this one here. See how it's bolted to the bumper, but then it gets bolted to the fender just right there. Alright guys, so there you have it. We removed the front bumper on a Honda S2000. It wasn't too hard. Just got to be careful. Make sure that when you're removing the bumpers, that where it's clipped, it is a little bit hard. So you don't, when you're pulling it back, you make sure you don't have to break those tabs. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna bring the bumper to my body shop and have it repainted. I know I could have left it the way it was. It's just that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and over time what could have happened is because it has a bubble in it, water could infiltrate that bubble, and afterwards the whole bumper paint could start to flake, and I don't want that to happen. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. And on the next episode, if anything, we'll be putting that bumper back on. Have a great day, guys.